Ladies and gentlemen, what a day it has been in the world of sports. Several things have happened today. First, we had Alexander Ovechkin beating Wayne Gretzky and the goal scoring record to become the all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the NHL, 895 goals in his career. I said at the beginning of me making these videos a couple months ago, December 2nd was the first day that I made my first video. Maybe it wasn't the first day, but I mentioned that I have a child's or a youth jersey of Alexander Ovechkin. Now that he's broken the record, I'm sure the prices are going to be absolutely ballistic, but I said I would wear I would try to wear this youth jersey for the video of the day that he broke the record. So here we are. Ovi, congratulations. You did it. This thing is so tight. Holy crap. This is insane. Not only did Alexander Ovechkin break Wayne Gretzky's record, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he signs a $14 or $15 million or 15-year deal, a $500 million contract with Blue Jays. So Vladdy's staying with the Blue Jays. Gretzky beats the record. What a day in the world of sports. But what a day it was not for Kipes and his predictions. Kipes, I'm speaking in the third term because I don't want to take any ownership for this, but Kipes, he went 2 for 8 in his predictions today. Not very good at all, folks. This is probably the worst I have ever done on a predictions video. Look how small that is on. Oh boy. But this is by far the worst I've done in a prediction so far. And here I am, not giving a rat's patooey because Gretzky's record has been broken. And Vladdy has re-signed in Toronto. What a day. But it is insane to think that we might not be alive the next time that this record is broken. Like, put that into consideration, and it's just mind-boggling. It's also wild to think that today is April the 6th. It is 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time at the time that I'm recording this, and it is April the 6th is the exact same day that the Washington Capitals got the rights to his draft pick and picked him first overall. They didn't draft him on this day, but they got the rights to the first overall draft pick by winning the lottery on April the 6th. It is so insane. What also is insane is that it took them the exact same number of games to get this record. It's just mind-boggling. Like, it's just so cool that this has happened. We're out and about when the goal happened, but we were able to watch it live in person because I was kind of following the ticker. We were about to walk into our filing our taxes appointment, but I noticed that the Capitals went on the power play. The Capitals went on the power play, and I'm like, I gotta tune in. Ovi's gonna score. And literally, it connected. My phone started playing the game. Ovi scores the goal, and I instantly got chills, and then the wife's like, we gotta go in. I'm like, okay. I saw it. It's just incredible stuff. And we got to make everything about the Toronto Maple Leafs, don't we? Pierre Engvall, former Toronto Maple Leaf. He was the guy that took the penalty to put the Capitals on the power play and getting that goal. So there is Leafs fandom involved in the great goal. We got to talk about that that celebration that Ovi did too. It is iconic. It is almost exactly what he did after they won the cup. That's Superman dive onto the ice for the goal. The Superman dive into the fountain in Vegas after they won the cup. As you can tell by my reaction, we're not talking too much about the other games because I was crap in my predictions and I don't really want to face the facts. But let's start. Capitals taking on the Islanders. The Islanders actually won this game 4-1, and Ovi being that only goal. The next one was the Minnesota Wild taking on the Dallas Stars. The Stars, I really needed them to pull off a regulation win and not get the Wild at any points. And the Wild, they get 2 points out of this game, and it's going to be tight for these Flames. This is one that I got right in my predictions. The Senators taking on the Blue Jackets. I predicted the Senators to win this game. They did, 4-0. This is back-to-back shutouts for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They got skunked 5-0 against the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. They got skunked 4-0 by the Ottawa Senators tonight. The Florida Panthers taking on the Detroit Red Wings in Detroit. The Red Wings, they end up winning this one 2-1. And I've seen a couple people say that the Florida Panthers are in free fall on purpose so that they can fall into a wild card position and potentially face the Toronto Maple Leafs in round 1. No, I do not think that is a thing that is going to happen. And no, I don't think if it does happen, it was on purpose. But why do they have to play around with this? Yes, I would hate to play Ottawa. I would hate to play Montreal in the first round as well. But that's just me having bad PTSD from any playoff round right now. Moving on, we got the Sabres taking on the Boston Bruins. The Bruins, they were in control of this game. And then the Sabres, they scored like 4 or 5 goals in a row. And they ended up winning this one 6-3. I had the Bruins winning this game. Of course, the Bruins screwed me over once again. The Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I had the Penguins and they lose. They lose 3-1 to the Blackhawks, of course. Hey, here's the second game that I got right. The Montreal Canadiens, they won again. They cannot stop winning. It is looking very good for them in the wildcard spot. They beat the Predators 2-1 in this game. The last game of the evening is a game that does help the Calgary Flames a little bit, even though it wasn't really, the Canucks aren't really in the picture anymore. They lose to Vegas. Vegas scored with about 3.5 minutes left to go in the game, putting that nail in the coffin for the Vancouver Canucks. So that is pretty much their season done and dusted. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a quick little thing, we didn't talk too much about the games, but Ovechkin is more important today. Vladdy is more important today, and it is just so cool. I wore my... It makes me look pretty jacked or just really obese. I don't know which one it is. Y'all tell me, obese or jacked? But I had to put... it's somewhere on record saying that if OVI does break the record this year, I will wear my youth jersey, and here it is. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to all my subscribers. I love you all, and I hope you have a great night. Tomorrow, there is no recap video, no predictions. There is Mix It Up Monday, so I will be doing something different. Still trying to figure out what that is. Probably as categories and maybe even something else. We shall see. But have a great night. Talk to you later. Ovi, congratulations. You deserve it, man.